Salam, peace be upon you. My name is Muhammad Laik Siddiqui, the father of Holophase. We all say something happened, but today we learn a stricter way to speak. We point to a paper, not a feeling. An update certificate is the public object that says this state led to that state, and it shows every stamp that makes it legal. If the paper is missing, we do not argue. We refuse the claim. This is how change stops being a story and becomes something strangers can audit. Recap so far. In the simplest everyday story. Imagine we are keeping a family notebook at home. On one page we write, "The kitchen was clean." On another page we write, "The kitchen is messy." Most people would say, time passed and the kitchen changed. But we decided to be more careful, because careful is how we avoid mistakes. So in part 1 we learned, change is not a river of time. Change is a certified relation between two certified stakeholders. In part 2, we solved the big confusion. How can there be change if we do not start with time? We answered with a clear rule we can say out loud. Public change of S1 and S2 if and only if there exists an update certificate from S1 to S2 with all gates passing. In plain language, if you cannot show the certificate, you cannot say it happened in public. In part 3, we froze the words we are allowed to use so we do not cheat by inventing new magical nouns. In part 4, we built a state package. That is our sealed folder for what is the case inside the window. It includes the passport pi of W, the domain D of W, the ceiling and max of W, the uncertainty U of W, the finite jets up to the ceiling, the topology tokens like defects and charges, the invariant basis I of W, and the audit trail so another team can replay it. In part 5, we installed type nextness, called adjacency classes. We learned we do not say next unless we can prove what kind of nextness it is. Overlap, refinement, scale, transport, or boundary. If we cannot prove it, we say adjacency is undefined. Now we are ready for the moment where change becomes a thing you can point to. Not a vibe, not a guess, not a poem, a public object. Opening rhythm hook. Imagine we are at a school. A teacher marks attendance. In the morning, a child is present. Later, the child is absent. Somebody says, the situation changed. But the teacher does not accept that sentence by itself. The teacher asks, show me the register. Show me the timestamp on the entry. Show me who signed it. Show me the reason note if there is one. Pause. Now we say clearly, Episode 14 gave us the alphabet of certified structure. Episode 15 gives us the grammar of lawful change. Episode 14 compiled what is publicly readable inside Windows. Episode 15 certifies how one compiled page can legally lead to another. And today we ask one short question. Today we are asking, what is change, really? Part 6. Update certificate change as a public object. We are going to install one tool, and it is the center of the whole episode, the update certificate. We will say it in one strong sentence. If you want to say something happened, you show the certificate. A certificate is replayable, not persuasive. This is how science becomes infrastructure. What an update certificate is in everyday language. Think of an update certificate like a receipt from a shop. A receipt does not just say, I bought something. It says what was bought, which shop, which till, which time label, the price, the tax. Asterisk the total, asterisk and sometimes the cashier code. Why so many details? Because later, strangers can check it. Now we do the same for change. An update certificate does not say the world moved. It says this state package led to that state package through a legal bridge using a registered rule with all security checks passing, and here is the full evidence bundle. The trap we refuse in this part. The trap is the easiest sentence in the world. It updated. We refuse it because it hides all the important questions. Updated from what to what? Across what kind of nextness? Under what rule? With what uncertainty? With what invariance tests? With what audit trail? So we replace the trap with paperwork. The update certificate fields, spoken so you can narrate them. An update certificate must contain the hash of the state from. We say hash of S from. The hash of the state to. We say hash of S to. 3. The adjacency proof hash. We say adjacency proof hash, meaning the proof that the bridge between the two windows is legal. 4. The transformer identifier and transformer version. We say transformer identifier and version, meaning which rule we used and which exact version of that rule. 5. The residual report and acceptance rule. We say residual report, meaning how well the transformer matched what was observed, and the rule that says what counts as good enough. 6. The uncertainty propagation trace. We say uncertainty trace, meaning how uncertainty moved from the inputs to the outputs without cheating. 7. The gate report for all 8 gates. We say gate report, meaning the full checklist of passes and fails. 8. The audit digest and replay pointers. We say audit digest, meaning a compact summary of the evidence bundle and pointers that tell others how to replay. 9. The ledger pointers. We say ledger pointers, meaning where in the public record this certificate and these states are written. That is what makes change a public object, not a private feeling. Scene 1. The cracked phone screen. Everyday scene. Imagine we drop a phone. Before, the screen is unbroken. After, the screen is cracked. We all agree something changed. Now the illusion people use is time passed and it cracked. But we are stricter. We ask, can we certify the change? Holophase translation. We build 2 state packages. State package S of W1, phone before drop, compiled with passport PI of W1, domain D of W1, uncertainty U of W1, and audit trail. State package S of W2, phone after drop, compiled with passport PI of W2, domain D of W2, uncertainty U of W2, and audit trail. Now, we must not casually say next. We must prove adjacency. In this case, we might use overlap adjacency because we're looking at the same phone with the same camera setup and the windows overlap in what they observe. So we produce an adjacency proof. Now we propose an update certificate. Star hash of s from is the hash of the before state package. Star hash of s2 is the hash of the after state package. Star adjacency proof hash is attached. Star transformer identifier and version is attached. Even if we do not fully define transformers until later, we still reference the rule family, drop event recording rule, as a registered placeholder. Star uncertainty trace is attached. Star gate report is attached. Star audit digest is attached. Star ledger pointers are attached. Checkpoint gates as lived security. Gate 1, the typing gate. Are we using only allowed words? No new primitives? Good. Gate 2, adjacency. Did we prove the bridge? Yes, adjacency proof attached. Gate 3, recertifiability. Can another lab rebuild these state packages from the audit trail? If the answer is no, the certificate is refused. Gate 4, invariant safety. If phi goes to phi plus c, do we still classify crack the same way in the invariant basis? If a mere relabeling changes our claim, we refuse. Gate 5, sealing honesty. Did we demand detail beyond nmax of W? If we claimed microscopic crack structure while the window only supports call structure, we refuse. Gate 6, uncertainty. Did we pretend perfect certainty? If we did, we refuse. Gate 7, audit sufficiency. Can others replay the measurement conditions? If not, we refuse. Gate 8, no new primitives. Did we smuggle time or force as a magic thing? If we said force caused it as a primitive without certificates, we refuse. Outcome. If all gates pass, we produce the update certificate. If any gate fails, we produce a refusal certificate. And we write the result to the ledger. Scene 2. Hospital thermometer and the intervention split. Everyday scene. Imagine we are in a hospital. A thermometer reads 37 degrees. Later, it reads 39 degrees. People quickly say, the patient changed. But we must do the intervention split. Did the patient change, or did the window change? Maybe the thermometer battery was low. Maybe the nurse switched from forehead to ear measurement. Maybe the room was cold and the first reading was wrong. Holophase translation. The passport pi of W records the instrument, the method, the settings, the sampling. So if the thermometer method changed, that is a window change, not a patient change. Now we build state packages again. State package S of W1. First reading with full passport details. State package S of W2. Second reading with full passport details. Adjacency must be proven. This might be refinement adjacency, a better instrument, or boundary adjacency, inside mouth versus outside skin, or even undefined if the measurement changed so much we cannot compare. If adjacency is undefined, we say it clearly. Adjacency is undefined here. We do not pretend we have public change. If adjacency is proven, then an update certificate can exist. Gate filling. Gate 2 is very strict here. It will not let us walk across a bridge if we change the bridge itself. Gate 7 is also strict. It demands the replay recipe. What thermometer, what method, what settings. Outcome. If we can show compatible passports and the legal adjacency proof, then we can issue an update certificate that says, temperature invariant changed within uncertainty under this measurement method. If not, we refuse. And that refusal is not shame, it is public integrity. Scene 3. Train station, and something happened. Everyday scene. A train leaves platform 4. Now it is not there. Someone says, the train moved. But we ask, did we compare the same platform camera? Did the camera angle change? Did we switch from one station to another? Did we lose the footage? Holophase translation. We make two state packages. State package S of W1, train present with a passport. State package S of W2, train absent with a passport. We prove adjacency. This might be transport adjacency if we are mapping the train from one window to another using a declared transport mapping. Or it might be overlap adjacency if the camera stayed fixed and the window is stable. If we cannot prove adjacency, we say adjacency is undefined. If we can issue an update certificate with hash of S from hash of S2, adjacency proof hash, transformer identifier and version, a registered train tracking rule, residual report, how well tracking matched, uncertainty trace, gate report, audit digest, ledger pointers. Now strangers can audit. They can replay. They can agree or disagree based on evidence, not argument. The core equation, spoken slowly, then translated. We say it slowly. Public change of S1 and S2 if and only if there exists an update certificate from S1 to S2 with all gates passing. Pause. Kitchen translation. If you cannot show the paperwork, nothing publicly happened. You may still feel it happened, but public reality needs receipts. Stress test inside this part. We run one stress test clearly. Phi goes to phi plus c. Translation: if we rename every street in the city, did the buildings move? Answer: no. So an update certificate must not depend on labels. If the certificate changes when we only relabel, gate 4 fails and the update certificate is refused. Predictions delivered like receipts. Prediction 1. If two teams build the same state package from the same audit trail, the hash must match. If it does not match, the hashing or canonicalization is wrong and must be revoked. Prediction 2. If adjacency proof is missing, an update certificate cannot exist. Any claim of public change without adjacency proof must be refused. Prediction 3. If uncertainty is honestly propagated, then repeated measurements under the same passport will produce variations within U of W. If the certificate claims sharper precision than the uncertainty allows, gate 6 fails. Prediction 4. If a transformer identifier and version cannot be verified, the update certificate must be refused, because we cannot replay what rule was used. Failure signatures for this part. When an update certificate fails, we do not excuse it. We classify it. Missing evidence pointers. The replay bundle is missing. Non-deterministic serialization. The same certificate text produces different hashes on different systems. Unverifiable transformer version. We do not know which rule was used. Passport mismatch. The window changed but was hidden. Invariance failure. The claim changes under phi goes to phi plus c or cut relocation. Sealing violation. The certificate demanded more detail than N max of W allows. Underpriced uncertainty. It pretended certainty it did not earn. Falsifier for Part 6. Falsifier, spoken simply. If we repeatedly observe clear public change under compatible passports, and we can prove adjacency, and we can replay the audits, but no possible update certificate format can capture the change without secretly importing forbidden primitives, then this part is wrong and must be rebuilt. In plain language, if public change exists but cannot be turned into a replayable certificate, our definition is incomplete. Audit artifact and revocation clause. Audit artifact. What goes into the ledger? We store the full update certificate format, hashes of the from state and to state, adjacency proof hash, transformer identifier and version, residual report and acceptance rule, uncertainty trace, gate report for all 8 gates, audit digest, and ledger pointers. We store the certificate serialization rules, so the same certificate always produces the same hash. We store the replay bundle pointer format, so strangers can reproduce the certificate decision. We store failure logs and refusal certificates in the negative archive when gate checks fail. Revocation clause. If any update certificate is missing evidence pointers, it is revoked and archived as a refusal case. If certificate serialization is non-deterministic across correct implementations, the certificate format is revoked and repaired. If transformer identity or version cannot be verified, the certificate is refused and logged. If the certificate depends on hidden environment details, it is revoked. If a certificate passes without a complete gate report, the gate engine is revoked. If anyone says it updated without producing an update certificate, the claim is refused and recorded as narrative-only change. Episode 14 gave us certified structure. Episode 15 gives us certified becoming. If becoming cannot be certified, it is not public reality. It is only a story. If you want to go deeper, the formal work can be found on Zenodo. Search for Holophase. Always, peace be upon you.